Hey out there, legal warriors, I finally thought of it. I finally thought of a way to explain the most confusing and damaging mistake people make in the criminal justice system. If you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 25 years. I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find it useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it, and most importantly, more people get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. I wasn't sure how to start this video. I was just going to start it with, it's not dropped, it's not dropped, it's not dropped. And what do I mean by that? Here is the most confusing and damaging thing in Washington State. Every single day, people get arrested for investigation of a crime, be it DUI, be it domestic violence, be it a felony charge, be it any charge at the county level, and then they get put in jail. And they don't immediately get charged with the crime, and then they sort of walk out of the jail and they think, the case is dropped. They dropped the case. I don't have a court date. The case is dropped. And that is simply not how it works. And why it's so damaging is, imagine you walk out the courtroom, you think you're a free man or you're a free woman, and 3 months or 6 months or 9 months later, you get a notice to go to court. Or even worse, you miss the notice to go to court. Now there's a warrant for your arrest. And when you're driving your kids around trying to go, over to, the arcade or wherever you might be going, you get pulled over for speeding. Now they haul you off to jail because you missed the court date for that case that was dropped. Because the case is not dropped when you're not immediately charged in Washington State. So let's start from the beginning. We have a bunch of videos on this issue, and here's what I want you to think about it. The court rules say that if somebody is arrested for investigation of a crime, the prosecutor has 3 court days to file a charge if they want to maintain any conditions that restrict the freedom of the arrested person. What's that mean, Lance? Well, if you get arrested for DUI, they're going to order you don't drink, don't drive without a license, maybe pay $2,500 bond to get out. And the court rules say that if the prosecutor doesn't file a charge within 3 court days, by law, those charges, those conditions, because you're not charged yet, those conditions on the arrested but uncharged person, they have to be dismissed or dropped. And so people think, well, the case is dropped. But no, it's not dropped, because now it's going to go through the regular charging process. So here's how I want you to think about it. How many of us have ever applied for a credit card, right? And if you have applied for a credit card, sometimes there's a certain offer to begin with, right? Hey, if you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, we're going to give you 60,000 extra bonus points. So if you do something within a period of time, you get a bonus. Well, think about it for the prosecutor in the same way. The prosecutor has 3 court days to file a charge against you, and if they do file a charge, they get a bonus. The bonus is they can maintain all the conditions on you that got set at your first hearing. No contact, don't drive without a license and insurance, bond, all that stuff. Now, if the prosecutor doesn't file a charge within the 3 court days, that doesn't mean they can't charge you later. In fact, they are going to likely charge you later because they're going to go through the normal process. They decided they didn't need to rush it to get the bonus, to maintain those conditions, because your record wasn't bad enough, wasn't serious enough for them to go through all that work. And just like your charge card, right? You get the charge card. If you don't spend the $5,000 in the first 3 months, you don't get the bonus of the extra points, but it doesn't mean you still can't use your card and charge later. You are going to charge later, just like the prosecutor is. So why don't prosecutors rush and get that bonus? Why don't they get the bonus miles? Because if you don't have a bad record, they don't have enough time to do all the paperwork for all the people that got arrested and get them all charged and filed in all this time to get that bonus. Now, what's the biggest bonus they get? If you're already in jail and you haven't bailed out, they're more likely to rush and file the charge because they get the bonus to keep you in jail, right? They want you in jail because that's their job, put you in jail. So if you have a bad history, or it's a serious case, an SA or some type of child abuse or something like that, well, there's more in it for them. Their bonus is the public safety. I'm going to hurry up and file on that sucker, right? So again and again and again, I just got off the phone with another one of my own clients. I can't even explain it right. It's like, hey, Lance, my case is dismissed, right, because the case was dropped. No, if you're not rush filed, the prosecutor didn't go for that bonus, it doesn't mean they're not going to charge you later. They're going to pull out that credit card. They're going to get to it when they get to it. So what's the limit? When can't they use that card to charge you in this analogy? Once the statute of limitations is run, they can no longer charge you with the crime. That card is now expired or it's canceled, right? They can't use it against you. And so for most gross misdemeanors, it's going to be 2 years, okay? And I say most, there are some exceptions about if you're out of state and stuff like that. Felonies, mainly 3 years. Serious offenses, some of them have no limit. But for the most part, think if it's a non-felony, it's a DUI, they've got 2 years from the arrest date to use that card and charge you. And when, of course, when they're charging you, they're not really using the card. They're writing out a criminal complaint. They're sending it. They're giving it to the court. That type of thing. So why does this matter? Because so many people get surprised. So many people get disappointed. If you just think the case is over when it's not, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to have an attorney when you need one to try to get you to do things that might help the case, to improve your chances of you never being charged, right? You might miss the court date and get a warrant and get picked up, on the way to Dave & Buster's. And you know what? I've still never been to Dave & Buster's. I mean, that's an arcade, right? And I said arcade earlier. I couldn't think of Dave & Buster's, but now it came to me. So I don't want to make the mistake because it's just heartbreaking when you find out later that the case wasn't dropped. Instead, the prosecutor just didn't, go through the trouble to get the bonus of keeping you in jail or keeping the conditions, because most of the time it's just not worth it to them. There's too many cases. How do I know? I was a prosecutor for 7 years. I used to have to make those type of decisions myself. I'm only going to go through all that trouble to do something on the weekend or Monday morning at 6 a.m. or whenever I'm looking at the file. If it's really worth my while, I'm going to get the biggest bonus for filing the charge right away. So don't make the mistake. If you're arrested, if your loved one's arrested, get yourself an attorney. Talk to someone. Listen to the attorney. We're not out there just making stuff up and trying to sell stuff. At least I'm not, and my firm's not. And, hopefully if you talk to someone who's local in your area, they'll know what to expect when you might get charged and what we might be able to do to help avoid it. So I hope you found this useful. If so, please like it, please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. More importantly, if you have a criminal problem in Washington State, feel free to reach out to our firm. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward. We will be there for you. Thank you.